Now, a story that you will have seen around over the last few days. A Warwick University student, who's also a Labour councillor in Luton, was forced to apologise and resign from her post this week after messages were sent from her social media account claiming that Hitler was the greatest man in history and that Iran could wipe Israel off the map using nuclear weapons. Well, it's the second member of the Labour Party to have been expelled in as many weeks, leading some people to question whether Labour has a problem with anti-Semitism. Some MPs and activists within the party certainly think so and are now campaigning to toughen the rules on it, as well as on Islamophobia and racism. Jonathan Sacerdoti is from the Campaign Against Antisemitism. Good morning.
Good morning, Justin.
Do you think that Labour does have a problem?
It certainly appears that way at the moment. The case you just referred to of Aysegul Gurbaz, the Labour councillor in Luton, who wasn't, by the way, expelled, she was suspended, as has been the effect on many of those who have been called out in the media for having anti-Semitic, Jew-hating views that they've spread in public. And that's why we're hearing certain members of the Labour Party now calling for a change in their rules so that these people can actually be expelled and permanently excluded from that party. Because it's very easy to condemn these statements and these behaviours after they've happened and been brought to the public's attention in the press, but just to suspend them and then often even let them back into the party, as was the case with Jerry Downing and Vicky Kirby, two other people who spread anti-Semitic views in public, doesn't show a great commitment on the part of the Labour Party to actually stamping out this form of vile racism.
I mean, it's one thing to air your views, and people have a range of political views, even if they have pledged allegiance to one party. But when it becomes racist, anti-Semitic, there is a big problem, isn't there?
That's right, and I don't think that many people in Britain think it is a legitimate political view to be spreading slanders and slurs about Jewish people based on ancient prejudices. Certainly this particular councillor you referred to, Aysegul Gurbaz, was saying that Hitler was the greatest man in history who she would have liked to have met. Now that's not a mainstream political opinion, I think, in this country. It's not something most British people sympathise with. So I think people are shocked when they hear that a mainstream party like the Labour Party, the opposition in this country, has within it people who spread those sorts of views. And it's not just her. There's also Sir Gerald Kaufman MP, who has said within only a few months ago that Jewish money and Jewish donors are manipulating the Conservative Party's policy towards Israel. He said that that's why they turn a blind eye to what he called Jewish Israelis murdering people because they looked Arab. We've seen Alex Chalmers, the outgoing chair of the Oxford Labour Club, who resigned because he said he felt that his society had a problem, some sort of problem with Jews, he said. And these stories are coming up again and again in the press, which is of great distress not just to Jewish people, but also to people all over Britain, Jewish and non-Jewish, who don't have any time for this kind of racism and Jew hatred.
Why do you think there is, an apparent rise in these kinds of attitudes?
It's not clear whether there's a rise in these attitudes or whether it's finally becoming noticed around the nation that these attitudes have always existed in society and within political parties like the Labour Party or others, as much as any other part of society. But I think that Britain's realising that in a time when more Jewish people are leaving Western Europe, emigrating to places like Israel because they feel unsafe, as Jews have been killed around the continent, whether it's in the hyper-caché attack in Paris or whether it's in the Brussels Jewish Museum or whether it's in a Jewish school in Toulouse, these frequent murders of Jewish people at the hands of terrorists and this giant wave of Jewish immigration away from Europe has meant that people are feeling very uncomfortable with the idea that Europe and therefore Great Britain might not be a comfortable place for Jewish people to live in the future. That's not something I think most British people are happy with, and now it's time that we can all look at this problem and find a way to solve it within Great Britain, get back in touch with the values of Britain, which are tolerance and pluralism, so that Jewish people can feel safe here like everyone else.
Good to talk to you this morning. Thank you so much. Jonathan Sacerdoti from the Campaign Against Antisemitism. On the various accusations which have been made in recent months, a Labour spokesman said the Labour Party takes all allegations of anti-Semitism, racism, bullying, intimidation and candidate misconduct very seriously. Lady Jan Royal is currently leading an investigation into the conduct of individual young Labour Party members, and Lady Royal will consider all allegations and all relevant information. In In a statement, Aysegul Gürbüz, the councillor we've just been talking about, said multiple people have had access to my account and the tweets made do not reflect what I believe, but I take full responsibility for what was spoken in my name. I believe it is the right thing to acknowledge the pain I have caused and have resigned. The Labour Party confirmed that she was suspended, and a council spokesman said the matter would be referred as a matter of urgency to the council's Independent Standards Committee to allow a full investigation to take place. A little bit later than usual.